All right. So, let's first start off with just your name and like general fun facts about yourself.
Sure. My name is Michael Perez. I was born and raised in the Philippines. I moved here when I was 20 years old. I graduated with a bachelor's of science in nursing. Supposed to be a nurse, but when I came here in the U.S., my my whole family was already here. Originally, this is way back in 2008. I was just supposed to take a vacation.
Mhm.
It's probably 2 months here. I moved in Alabama, Mobile, Alabama. But what happened, the 2 months be extended because I had so much fun here in the US and I have siblings here. I have four brothers and one sister. And there's six of us and they were still a little bit younger. So I was like, I'm the second to the oldest. And so I was like, I guess I'm just gonna stay here. But in order to stay in the US legally, because I had my tourist visa, I was on tourist visa. What I did was it changed my visa status from student, I mean from tourist visa to a student visa. That forced me to go to school, just to stay legally here in the US. So I went to a community college in Mobile. I studied paramedic. I did paramedic basic, so got licensed with that, but didn't want to do it because it was too stressful. You
That's
have
fair.
to, yeah, you have to be up for like 48 hours straight. And then I did after that, I went to culinary school. I studied cooking and I enjoyed that. But the reason why I kept taking all these classes is because I needed to have my status updated as a student visa. So, you're a student, so you have to be a student.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was expensive because I pay out of state. They don't consider me in state. So if your college tuition fee is like normally 3,000 per semester, I pay 6,000. Mine's doubled. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, so I did that for a while, and I did a lot of community service just out of this is how I was raised. I grew up from a church background. I was highly involved in ministry, doing all those things. So my family, my father, my mother, and we just serve at the church. So here in the US, I became part of different ministries. This is like happening while I was still in school. I was juggling multiple things and being single. I was in my 20s, trying to learn, trying to help. But really the biggest transition happened in 2014. That's when I met my wife now. We started dating in 2014, and that's when we started a new venture, restaurant business. That's how me and my brothers, it's my brothers, they work for different restaurants and primarily Japanese restaurants. So that they know how to make sushi, they know how to make Japanese food. So it gave them the confidence to start a business. I was never really a business person. Well, I don't want to say I wasn't. I was an entrepreneur. I like to sell things. Man, I sold a lot of things. When I was younger, I sold shoes. I sold concentrated juice. I sold minerals. I sold coffee. Here in the US, I sold coffee. I sold minerals. I sold um, chia seeds. You name it.
Yeah.
I sold random stuff. But yeah, my brothers they all decided, hey, why not open our own restaurant? Because being an international student, I'm not allowed to work on any job. And so the only way for us to make money is to have our own business. So during that time, my dad he works for the airline company. That's how we moved here. My father works for the airline company in Mobile, and so he was able to bring us all here. And but all of us, including my brothers, we were all on student visa. because we were still waiting for that petition. You know, they had to petition you in order to become an immigrant and become a US citizen. And so for me, I was still waiting for my petition. So while waiting, we had to have a current status. So the current status was a student visa. You know, moving forward with that, 2014, we opened our first restaurant here in the US in Mobile, Alabama. It's called Kai, Kai, Kai Restaurant. It was our very first restaurant. It was a Japanese restaurant. And it was, you know, it was a challenge at first. First few months we didn't pay ourselves because we only made enough to pay for bills, for the utilities, for the expenses, and other employees. But us brothers, we had to hold on our paycheck because we had to wait like 3 months before we started paying ourselves and catch up because we're still trying to get in the groove of the business. And that was probably the toughest time in the business is 2014 when we were doing it ourselves, all the renovation. But we really started the operation.
I'm really sorry, man. Someone's banging on my
No,
window.
that's good. That's good.
I'll be just a second. I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so my roommate managed to lock himself out.
I got you. Is it Finn?
No, no, it's anyways. Um, so you were saying you were working really hard on the first restaurant.
Oh yeah, so yeah, in the first restaurant, and it was really a challenge because think about it, we're immigrants, so this is an immigrant story, and we weren't born and raised here in the US. The only reason why I can speak English, not very fluent, I mean it's fluent, but I still have my accent, is because English is our second language. We studied it, we learned it, and I was blessed because my parents, they sent me to a private school in the Philippines from elementary till college. I never went to a public school, but public school in the Philippines is not like the same here in the US. I would say that public school in the US is a private school level in a third world country. So we
Gotcha.
still got it better here in America when it comes to certain level of privileges when it comes to education. So, backtracking, 2014, we started renovating. It was an old restaurant spot that we turned into ours. And but we really started the operation on January 15, 2015. So January 15, 2015. And that's the first time we opened that restaurant. And it was a lot learning. Me and my brothers, we had some, rubbing, like, we clashed at first, we fought. So it was not a simple process learning to work together as a family. There were tears, mainly my tears. I was the only one who was very emotional. I'm the oldest, so the oldest is my sister, and then me, and then four younger brothers. And one of my brother, the one who really wanted to make this business happen, he was very nice to other employees except me, and he was very rude to me, especially, but I'm his brother too. So I was like, I got upset one time. I was in the back of the restaurant, and for some reason I couldn't hold it. I cried, and then he felt bad. He said, "Why are you crying?" I said, "I just don't understand you. You are very nice to all our employees, and I'm part of this business too. Not to mention I'm your brother, and I'm your older brother, but you treat me like crap. Like, I don't understand why you're doing this." And he for some reason he realized it. Maybe the tears helped, but he stopped doing that to me. And since then, the respect. But I give him all the credit because my brother, I'm 3 years older than him, but he's the one who gave me the opportunity to see that to see things that I never thought I could do. He told me, Kuya is big brother. He told me, Kuya, can you be the front manager? Can you handle everything in the front? Bookkeeping, employees, hiring, firing, everything, customer service, and then I will focus on the kitchen, he told me. So that's when our flow started getting better. So I learned bookkeeping, I learned about taxes, I learned about restaurant management. Not to mention, we both were in the restaurant uh, learning curve because we were both studying culinary arts. We became classmates in school because he had to be an international student too. So we were both in class. So the only brothers that ended up staying in the business was me and two of my brothers. The other two wanted to do other things. And so really it started as a family business, but the main ones who stayed was just three of us. The rest of us, they wanted to do their other ventures. So from then on, 2015 until 2019, I was in Mobile, Alabama. I was doing that. I was helping out, and like I said, I was part of a church ministry. I was um, I was preaching. I was helping out with a youth group, and yeah, I was just doing all those things in Mobile. It was an international church. The 2019 is when I moved here in Florida. I moved to Florida because my wife, when we were dating in 2014, proposed to her in 2016. We got married in 2017. So we just dated for 2 years. And then I had to pop the question, will you marry me? I proposed at Fort Pickens. Yeah, here in
It's a
Florida. And
beautiful
so,
place.
yeah, it was nice. It was nice. And the whole family was there. But she wanted to move to Florida, and I kind of wanted to move to Florida too. Why Florida? Because out of every other states in the US, Florida is the most business friendly. Florida, which other state? Nevada.
Mm.
Nevada is. When it comes to tax benefits, we get a lot here. Most people don't know that, but if you're in business long enough, you'll see there's a few other states who are business friendly, but Florida is one of the best ones. Because during COVID, every other state were forced to close. Florida was encouraged to open their businesses. A lot of changes happened when it comes to regulations with even alcohol. People started getting alcohol drive-through, taking it to go, which is, a unique way of trying to increase revenue. Our theme parks were open still, like Disney World, all those things. But yeah, again, Florida is probably one of the most business-friendly states. So I moved here, and that's when we decided to open Pineapple Express. So Pineapple Express, the way it started is in 2018, my wife and I, we were in Hawaii. We were there for almost a month. It was our anniversary, our first anniversary, and we enjoyed our stay. It was super chill. We were just enjoying the views, the food. But the thing about me is when you've been in business for a while, anywhere you go, you can't stop thinking about business. Like when you eat out, when you look at the food, you start thinking, what's in here? I wonder how they made this. Oh, I know how they made this. You just study everything. You study the ambience, you study the the menu, you study the place, you study the design, everything, you study everything because you want to see if it's something you can emulate or copy to open your own. So that's what we did. So we went to Hawaii, took a lot of videos, pictures, enjoyed the food, the company, and then we were like, maybe, maybe we should open something like this. And so 2018, I mean the next year, 2019, in the beginning of the 2019, I took my wife to New York. We were in New York. That's when we just moved to Florida. And I was like, let's go somewhere just for vacation. We went to New York first time. And when we were in New York, I was like, you know what? we should open a restaurant in Pensacola. And then she was like, really? Yeah. And that's when we studied Pineapple Express. I'm also a real estate agent, so I'm a realtor. I had to take my real estate license because at first I didn't know what to do in Florida if I moved here. I was one of those people that I'm always gung ho, like, let's go, let's do it, but I don't have plans. Like I got married with no money. We lived in an apartment, which is fine. So I always tell people there's different ways on how you want to move forward with your life. But for me, once you find the right person, there's no reason not to be with that person. So I married my wife, and and it's just easier for me to move forward with my life when I have someone in my corner, and it's vice versa because I'm not doing it by myself anymore. We're a team, so we became a strong team, and even to this day, we're a strong team. So when we were in New York, that's when we decided let's open a restaurant. So we did open a restaurant, Pineapple Express, but that one was a challenge. The spot we chose was across Michael Cemetery in Pensacola, and it was hidden. Our business died. So that was December 2019 is when we opened Pineapple Express in downtown Pensacola, and COVID is the one that actually killed our business. So when COVID happened in 2020, we lost everything. We were not yet used to pick up orders, but we tried. And then I'm not sure if you're aware of the bridge collapsing, of our bridge. Okay, so the bridge collapsed on the new bridge. The new bridge. That one, there was an older bridge, and then they destroyed that. And this new one that they built, there was a Hurricane Sally. The barges were not secured, so it literally destroyed the bridge, and it took longer to finish it. So by the time that it was all the businesses were opening up, I live in Gulf Breeze. My restaurant was in Pensacola. I had to drive an hour and 30 minutes going to the restaurant and an hour and 30 minutes going back home. So it takes me 3 hours a day, every single day, just to go to the restaurant. At the same time, there wasn't enough customers. So I was ready to give up. And so I had to make a serious decision. I said that I need to close the restaurant. In October 2021, I said I can't do this anymore. I'm bleeding, bleeding. Let's say bleeding cash. So I told my landlord I have to close the restaurant. And then the landlord told me, well, you still have to pay because you're on contract. I said, I know. So I listed the restaurant as sublease. And thankfully, someone was brave enough to take my lease and continue. And I'm grateful for them. They tried. They're still in business right now too, but not on the same spot. They gave up on the spot too. They opened a different spot somewhere else. They're an ice cream shop. They're great people, but they also took the risk like what I did. And so I got out of that location, but during that process, I did have a food truck. So my food truck was the saving glory of all my situation. The food truck is the one that really generated income for me. In fact, no other job would have given me that opportunity to make that money because 2022, I probably talking about numbers because food truck it's a mobile kitchen. It's a moving kitchen. It's not a restaurant. It's a kitchen, and it has everything. It has all the cookware, all the equipments. So in 2022, I focused on that, and I did pretty good. I believe I did about just doing the math. I think I did about $120,000 in sales in just the food truck. For me, that's a lot already. Other food trucks, for them, that's too small. But for me, that's a lot, 120,000.
Mhm.
Because I probably used up for myself probably about 60, 70,000 of that. So I don't think there's any job that will pay me 60, 70,000 easily. So owning your own business has the advantages. When I say 60 to 70,000 though, it's not like I got that lump sum. I use the business, I did a lot of write-offs, all those things. These are all legal things. these are all things that anybody can do if you own a business. Like, I would write off, expenses to travel because I do business at the same time and I enjoy it, for fuel. When you eat out, there was one point that if you eat out, um, let's say your bill is about $150. There was a time that you can write off 100%. So $150 is your write-off, tax write-off. So a lot of tax advantages. So the most I probably generated in the food truck is about 150, 160,000 for a year. And for me, that's generous because I probably paid myself there about $80,000. And again, for me, that's good money because what job will do that for me? Maybe there's some, but for my profession, I don't really have other things, but so for me, owning a business, it wasn't really something I wanted to do, but it's something that I became. So through the help of my brothers, so the Japanese restaurant that we had, we closed it on August of 2022. The reason why is because all of our papers already showed, so we're no longer student visas. My brothers were able to get their petition, so now they work for other businesses or companies, and it's a hard hustle. It's not for everyone. The money is good, of course, reasonable, but sometimes not all about money. Sometimes it's not worth the stress and the headache to own a business. Not That's why I don't encourage people to just jump into business. You really need to give yourself time and understand that business is not for everyone. Some people can tolerate it, some people cannot. And there's a lot of blood and sweat behind the scenes that people don't see. A lot of people don't see that. And for me and my wife, there's a lot of sacrifices that we've done. We sold all our personal stuff, and just before we opened this new Pineapple Express, we've been through so much that I thought I was gonna lose everything, my house, my vehicles, a lot of things. But going back on the way the restaurant was built, um, the Japanese restaurant in Mobile we closed in 2022, and during that time I was just doing food truck. I was doing events. Events was the best for me. I think the best day that I did on an event was almost $7,000. I did $7,000 in one day, from 11 a.m. till 6:30 p.m. Had a huge line, Pineapple Express. They just loved it. The name itself is from the train ride in a train ride in Hawaii. This is not that movie that people kept talking about. They always ask me, "Oh, do you also this? Do you also we? Oh, we don't." The name is from a train ride, and it's not like something. And they're like, "Okay." So, but it's very interesting that this year, I would say that this year is our big break for the business. Normally, people tell this. Most people would say this. Businesses, you see a turnaround within 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5 years is the time frame that you'll see that you'll have your return of investments, your ROI. Um, for me, this is my fifth year in business, technically. The food truck, I actually stopped doing the food truck now. Food truck is part of my driveway. I still have to figure out what to do with that. But I'm grateful because everything that we did for this new location, we've only been open for this is our fourth week. It's starting to pay off. We're able to hire people. I'm able to take off now because I was working straight like three weeks straight. I was the kitchen from Monday to Saturday, and then I was like, I can't do this like this. It's gonna kill me working from 8:30 a.m. till like 9 p.m. 12 and a half hours every single day, no breaks too. So I said something's gotta change. So that's what happened. But yeah, Pineapple Express was a food truck for a while, and it was a good run. But now food trucks are everywhere. It's too many. I mean, you could probably agree with me. They're almost everywhere now.
Yeah.
And so the novelty is not the same. It's not as appealing anymore. That's my personal opinion. Maybe on events and stuff, but now I feel like it's so congested now. Left and right, you go somewhere, you'll see a food trailer, and I'm grateful that I was able to experience that food truck. And I would say I've mastered the food truck. Just pulling that trailer is a pain. It's called food trailer or concession trailer because mine's a trailer. I pull it. It's not like a truck, a truck that you drive. So mine's a food trailer technically. But I've mastered the food truck, food trailer business when it comes to operations. That is the hardest thing. Because think about it, we need to have a clean water to wash our hands. And then where does the dirty water go? People don't know. Of course, we dump it somewhere. We dump it at places that we're allowed to do it. The food truck part that I was at, it has its own sewer line. So things like that, most people don't consider. And we're self-sustained. That's a word. I have a generator, you maintain your generator. And remember, when you're pulling a food truck, there's a lot of moving parts. Things are hanging, things are clanking, and it's just not a simple process to set it up to go. In a restaurant business, it's stationary. If you're just there, the your main goal is just to keep everything in order, and it's easier, and I would say it's more fun. So the partnership that I have with this new business, because I was ready to throw the towel. So as a business owner, there are times that you have to really choose your battles. Like, do you want to keep going forward? Is it even worth it? For me, I was exhausted, man. I was like, I don't think I can do this anymore because I was working for the past 2 years, Monday to Saturday. I was working, and I have a 1-year-old daughter. Now I'm about to have another baby boy. And for me, I don't want to miss out on them growing up because the best years are when they're babies. And so I want to be there for them. Is the reason why I work hard is not just to live a good life. I work hard for my family because I love them. And I want to provide. It's something that's how I was raised. So I as much as possible I don't want my wife working because that's how I was raised. Mentally, I'm stuck to that mindset. If I'm able to afford, I will. But the reality is nowadays everything's expensive. Food is expensive, real estate's expensive, and so we do everything to help each other now to work together to afford expenses. But if you can do it, if you're blessed with a good opportunity, then good for you. If not, then that sucks.
Yeah.
You just have to figure out a better way to make it happen. So for me, I don't know. Right now, I wouldn't say that I'm already in a place that where I want to be, but I'm in a better place than I was before. I would say I'm not wealthy, I'm not rich, but my goal is to become a person that has enough that when I see people in need, I will help someone if I can. Because my goal is to establish myself and help those who deserves the help. I'm not gonna help someone who's just lazy and trying to waste your life away. I help those who help themselves. When I see someone that is trying, working hard, I do. I'll be on their corner. I'll be secretly supporting them. Go for it, do it. I'll cheer for them. I'll push them, to be the best version of themselves. But if it's something that they're just lazy and they don't want to make something out of themselves, then I might not be the best person to for them to be on their corner. So the new this new restaurant, like I said, I was ready to throw in the towel because my food truck spot last year, 2023, was affected by a lot of construction and the road, everything was confusing. No customers wanted to go down our road because it doesn't even look drivable. It seems like it's just dusty and everything. So it killed my business. I
Mhm.
lost so much money. I also lost money in cryptocurrency and invested in crypto. I know people are saying right now, Bitcoin is up now 60,000. I don't care anymore because I lost about $40,000 in crypto investments, and most of those money were borrowed money. And then, as crazy as I sound too right now, I also opened a restaurant in the Philippines. So I'm Filipino. Um, you're aware of Raising Cane's, Fusaklis, maybe you're aware.
For sure.
Yeah, yeah. So I opened something like that in the Philippines. And so I was also ambitious. I had $60,000 that I borrowed from here in the US. Because here, the people don't understand that here in the US, when you have good credit, you have the ability to take advantage of that and borrow money from them and invest on something. That's probably one thing that I don't advise people all the time. It depends on who you are, but I utilize that. I borrow money all the time, but this year or last year was the worst situation for me. Normally, I would do this. For example, I like video games. My wife does too. My wife's a YouTuber. She has like 23,000 subscribers on YouTube
Oh,
right
nice.
now. Yeah, yeah, she does gaming. And when we were dating, we loved games, and I would buy collector's edition. So I don't have money. When I say I don't have money, I want to make money. So when I don't have money, I try to do unique ways to make money. I had a credit card, $1,000 balance. So what I would do is, this is my entrepreneur side. I would literally wait till like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. for that limited edition, let's say a game called Monster Hunter. Have you heard of that game?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I played that. I'm a big fan of that. There was a Nintendo 3DS limited edition that's about to come out. So I don't have the money. I use a credit card. I buy it for $279. And after buying it, I will list it on eBay. So when I was one of those people, I was a scalper. I,
Gotcha.
I would sell it for $500. And after a while, people buy it. And so I'll make extra profit, $120. As soon as I get that money, I pay off the credit card. I did that for the Legend of Zelda limited edition, Majora's Mask. I bought 10 limited editions Legend of Zelda. 10.
Mm.
Sold all of them. I did it for the PlayStation 5 when it came out. I had 8 PlayStation 5s. So I would wake up like 4 a.m., 3 a.m., order them from Target, from Best Buy, and then I would buy them and I would resell them on Facebook, and people would buy it to me for like 750, 800. So I made like $200 profit, 150, and they don't mind paying because for them, I slept late and stuff. Nobody questions me because I guess at a certain point, they understand the value of it, but really, I also felt bad doing it, but for me, it was more of like a buy and sell kind of thing because I always like to do buy and sell. I'll buy something, then I'll sell something. So I do those things to get by because I need the extra cash. So I'll do creative ways. And so and when it came to the point that last year the construction was everywhere in our food truck, I was not making money at all. I was losing, and with our economy going down too, when is it going down? In a way, everything's expensive. Not everyone's making more money, and so no one's really buying stuff. No one's doing anything, and so they're just scared. People are just scared. So what I did was, I just prayed. I'm a firm believer, so I just, Lord, I don't know what to do. Help me. Talk to my wife. I don't know what the plans. So I got licensed for another business. So I'm a real estate agent. I'm also an insurance agent. So I sell insurance. So that's another side gig that I do. And but both are not really making money to me right now. So the only thing that was working was the food business. But then I'm also tired. Here comes 2024 of January. The owner of Shuskali, Mexican, Taqueria. I didn't know they've been my customers for 2 years now. That's when everything changed. A lot of people have come up to me and asked to partner with me or to invest in my business. Like literally, I've met so many people. I cannot tell you, probably more than a handful of people came up to me and said, Michael, let's partner business soon. I get another guy keep bugging me. 2 years from now, let's partner. And I'm okay partnering with people, but I would still choose who I want to partner with.
Hmm.
But these people, Gerardo and Reina, they came out of humility and they told me, we were thinking that we can open Pineapple Express in Barrancas, this and that. I was like, really? Yeah. I was like, I mean, I don't see any reason not to, because maybe this is what I'm waiting for. And so I said, let me think about it still. But deep inside, I was like, maybe we should. So I told my wife, we both agreed, yeah. But I did tell Gerardo, see, as a business, when you're partnering with someone, it's important to know their intention and of course your intention. But we're both taking the risk. I told him up front, guys, I don't have money. I have a single money right now. I'm flat broke. I opened a restaurant in the Philippines, which is not yet doing good. I'm still sending money there. I'm paying a lot of debts. I damaged my credit already because, like what I told you, I utilized debt to make more money. But 2023, it didn't work out that way. I borrowed too much. Because when you borrow money, it's money that you don't have. And the advice I tell people, if you had to borrow money to buy something, it means you cannot afford it. Now as a business owner, some people would say they would start saving before they open a business. Now, for me, this is my own philosophy. Money comes back, but time doesn't. So if I can make something happen now, even if I borrow money, 10 years later, I already paid off that money and I'm making more money. Because if you do it as early as now, you can beat those people, that will do it years later because you're ahead of the game. So when it comes to business, I personally think that you need to be one step ahead of your competition or anybody. You got to be in the game. That's why for me, I'm confident with my restaurant now, even when I had business partners, because I've been doing this for 5 years. I wasn't just doing this yesterday. At the same time, because they know that I have a track record in the business, they were confident to say, "Hey, Michael, let's partner up because we know you've been in business and your business is still alive and you're still running, you're thriving. It means you're doing something or providing something good." So I was like, let's go, let's do it. So we did. I was nervous. I think the nervousness is always there. It will never go away. It's okay to be nervous, but I was doing my part. A lot of hours sacrificed. I think you probably saw me painting the walls outside too
Yeah.
and stuff. Because we didn't want to hire people because we cannot afford labor yet. We cannot afford someone to pay them like $500 or 1,000 just to paint. We had to buy our own paint with our own, well, use this money. I had to buy my own money for inventory, whatever's left on my piggy bank. I had to like literally, I'm gonna buy first inventory. And so this was another risk. But it was a calculated risk. That's what I call this, a calculated risk. What I mean by that is I know the numbers, I know how much money I need to spend, I know how much money I need to make, and I will do everything to make that money. So in the first few weeks, I had to do the labor because I cannot afford to pay anybody. I cannot afford to pay my employees. And so I was only going to hire them if I can pay them. And so it wasn't a gamble, but it was a risk. So first 2 weeks, great. When I say great, if you're breaking even, it means you're doing good. So we were breaking even, enough to pay for the expenses, the utilities, the lease, and imaginary employees. So we didn't really pay ourselves yet. So with that, continue on, and this is again, it's we're 1 month now. Should have posted something about it, but because we opened February 9th, and now it's March, and it's been over a month, and every day has been reasonable. When I say every day has been reasonable, there are days that it's kind of slow, but when I say every day is a good day, other days compensates for it. Like for example, this day you'll make $1,000. The next day you'll make 600, but the next day you'll make 1,500. So it kind of balances it, and so that's where we're at in the business. It's still not where we want to be, but it's better than where we were before. So the goal for us right now is to keep continuing the business. And like I said, it's a huge blessing to have good business partners. It was I've never had a business partner before. It was only my brothers, but this it's been a month, and it's been great. Good relationship. I don't think it's for everyone to partner with anybody, but for me, you gotta find a common ground, and I like to compromise as well. I'm not stubborn person. I'm not a stubborn person. If I hear a suggestion and I know it works, we'll do it. Even if I know that my system works, I think being in business too, you gotta understand that there's always something to learn. So don't be stuck on the old ways or your own ways. Be willing to grow and adapt. Adapting is very important in business. If you cannot adapt, you're not gonna get anywhere. So food truck, I adapted. We still have the food truck I'm not using, but the restaurant system, it's ever changing. And it will keep growing in a weird way. But the goal for us right now is to really maintain what we do, provide excellent food, customer service, and see what will happen next year. Because now we're talking about if we do so well this year, we might open another one already. Yeah, and I was like, I never imagined that. I used to have a big vision of a Pineapple Express rice bowls. It'll be in every maybe airport by the water, going big, but that's not what happened. But now, like I said, it's so funny that on the times that you feel like you're about to give up, you know, and then you know, someone will come along and say, "Hey, don't give up. Here, let's do this together." And there's like a lighter feel. So I'm hopeful, I'm grateful, and I'm looking forward on how this business will progress. Yeah. Anyway, I said a lot.
Yeah, no, I don't mind it. I really appreciate it. Um, it's funny, I have a list of questions that I was gonna ask you, and you really hit like 90% of them.
Okay, good.
It's
As long as
yeah,
I'm able to provide
very
that
good.
those information.
Yeah, for sure. Um, just a couple of other questions though. Uh, so other than the obvious, were there any surprising differences from having a food truck versus having a restaurant?
Yeah,
Like, was there anything else?
there are. Number one is inventory. At food trucks, we were very limited. So we're normally when we're out of something, we put sold out.
Yeah.
At a restaurant, you cannot do that. Even though right now we are out of something, we're out of the Dole Whip. So that's like hard. But Dole Whip's not really our product. We just order them.
Mm.
We just put water in it and then put it in the machine. And there's no shame in that. That's what Disney World does. That's
Yeah.
what the Dole Plantation does still. And so that's one of the things is the the inventory. We cannot say we're out of something because we have enough room to prepare to have enough food to feed multitudes. Another thing would be when it comes to food truck, the limitations. When the weather is bad, we're closed. Here at the restaurant, rain or shine, we're open because we have indoor seating. So that's another good comfort that we have. Maintenance, there's less maintenance on a restaurant than a food truck, and this the I think the consistency as well of the place. It's more of like it's more comforting to me. A restaurant is brick and mortar is always people won't admit this, but most food trucks probably will. Food truck owners, every food truck's dream is to open their own brick and mortar, their own storefront. Me, I did the opposite. I did a storefront, then I became a food truck, and now I open a storefront again. But like I said, I could have not done this without the right people. That's why I'm eternally grateful for when it comes to being a business owner, there's only two people that I'm grateful. Well, three. Of course, I'm going to include my wife all the time. Aside from my wife, my brother, his name's Mark. Forever grateful for him for pushing me to let me, he made me cry though. That was way back. He made me cry once. And then for the Pineapple Express, I'm grateful for my business partners right now at Gerardo and Reina. They made it easy. Come on, like 2 weeks. I mean, you saw how we flipped that restaurant really quick. I've never heard of anything like that, and I did it.
Yeah.
And the reason why we're still able to function is because we're running under their license. Eventually, it'll be under Pineapple Express Hawaiian Grill, but right now it's still under their Mexican restaurant, which the health department, they were okay with that too. They said, yeah, I was wondering why it's a different name now, but as long as you're still paying taxes under their name and this, it's okay. Just let me know when you transition into fully officially Pineapple Express. And I said, we'll do that. But other than that, there was really no other surprises, but it's just more, I'd say it's more comfortable. It's more, a restaurant is more comfortable. The only downside is, of course, the lease, it's more expensive.
Yeah,
You're
for
paying
sure.
almost twice of your rent. Power bill is more expensive, the rent's more expensive. But other than that, yeah, it's that's basically it.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I can imagine it's a lot easier. Not easier, but just yeah, more comfortable, like you were saying.
It is very much.
Um, Now when you did go from Pineapple Express, the food truck, to Pineapple Express brick and mortar, were there any menu changes that you had to make, or is it
Yes,
the
yes.
same?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Being a food truck, your menu is supposedly smaller because you have smaller space, smaller inventory. So for me, I had to strategically plan on adding few new items for our big hours because we're a restaurant now. Pineapple Express rice bowls when we were just a food truck, we were just selling rice bowls and a few items. But I said, one of the restaurant owners that I know, have you heard of the Greek catering, Greek food truck?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm very good friends with the owner. He's kind of like he mentored me in a way. He encouraged me. He said to me, Michael, when I see Pineapple Express, I don't know what it is. And I said, really? Yeah. I don't even see the rice bowl, this my which are rice bowls. So I said, I know, my wife and I were talking, maybe we should put Hawaiian grill so people know what we are. And he was like, yeah, I would do that. And then I told him, well, I'm not really Hawaiian, I'm Filipino. I said at the end. The first thing he told me is, who cares? Who cares? I was like, that's when I learned if you're doing business, it doesn't matter. I mean, of course you care about your customers, but who cares what people think? Because you're here trying to make something happen for yourself. So you're gonna have to get out of your way, do the uncomfortable, and make it happen for yourself. Because no one's gonna do it for you. And so you carry your own flag. You do what you can. So it's what I did. I told my business partner Gerardo, we're no longer going to be Pineapple Express rice bowls. Oh, really? And so I was nervous because they wanted Pineapple Express rice bowls. He said, what are we? Are we still selling what we want? What we used to offer? Yes, but with more stuff. And so I brought more of authentic dishes from Hawaii that I tasted when I was there. And I added new items like the Loco Moco. That one is like more like a breakfast thing in Hawaii back then, but became like any time of the day you can eat it, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. That's a burger patty, char broil. That was important for me, the char broiler. I didn't want any flat grill. I'm not about those smash burgers. Those are good, but people here, they cook their burgers on a flat griddle and they smash it.
Yeah.
For me, I like the charcoal kind of griddle. So I use a char broiler. So I was very specific about that. I told my business partner, can we replace that flat grill with something? And he said, perfect, I have one. It's sitting in my storage. And it's been sitting there for 6 years. I was like, 6 years? Yeah, we used it. So that's what we use. And that's why he said it was meant to be. He was telling me. So 6 years, we didn't have to buy the equipment. He had the equipment, and that was like $2,000 equipment. So I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, I was like, man, that saves us a lot. So we use that one to do that. So the Loco Moco has a charboiled hamburger patty with 2 eggs and we pour gravy on it. So I add green onions just for color, adding the green, and then we also have chicken katsu, which is it's probably more of like Japanese dish, but it's popular in Hawaii, so we added that. I also added now. Oh my goodness, this is probably my best product right now. Is the huli huli chicken. It's like a Hawaiian chicken, and every today when I was working this morning before Izzy came, I did the morning shift. Izzy did the evening shift. Hopefully, she's busy tonight because I was kind of busy this morning. Um, nonstop people order huli huli chicken, huli huli chicken, huli huli chicken. I was like, I'm glad they enjoy it because it was that's more of a roadside traditional Hawaiian teriyaki chicken. You can find almost anywhere there, but I made my own a little bit my own version, but it still tastes the same or even better. It's my opinion because today I customer ordered after they ordered a second one. This one was not enough. They said, I'm gonna take one for dinner. And so when you have customers ordering twice, makes your heart feel good, like, man, because I personally never done that. Like what the food's so good that I want to take one home to eat for dinner. And that's what they did. It's not even seconds. It's like, uh, can you put this sauce on the side too, and this and that. So those are the items. Spam musubi, it's like a Hawaiian snack. Mine is a little bit different because no, it's not different. Some people maybe most of them do it this way in Hawaii. I have sushi rice that I make, and then seaweed, and I think you've tried that one. It has spam, so apparently people love it. We get sold out all the time, and I have a really close friend, best friend. He lives in Guam, and he's addicted to it, spam. So that one is there. So other than that, I'm trying to think. Spam and egg, we offer that too. We have like kind of like secret menu. They want spam and egg rice bowl. We can make that. But other than that, those are the initial ones. So we kept the original ones, but we added more stuff because as a food truck, I did not have a deep fryer. So I added chicken nuggets and fries and chicken katsu. My goodness, chicken nuggets and fries, they sell a lot too. I was like, good.
Yeah.
Because back then, when you go to my truck, menus limited. How about the kids? Now, when you go to my restaurant, everyone is happy. I don't want a rice bowl. Oh, you guys have burgers? I made an aloha burger. I made a chicken katsu burger version, a loco moco burger version. I have the kalua pork, which is like a pulled pork, but it's like Hawaiian style. And so they can do that as a sandwich, like pulled pork sandwich. So people are more able to have more options, not too many options, but enough options. So
Yeah,
that's what I changed on the menu, and uh, I'm glad I did
for sure.
because I've had people who would just come and they don't walk away anymore. As soon as they walk in, they're like, I don't, oh, I want that one instead. When they look here, it's just, I'm able to grab their attention now that there are more things that we offer than before. So that helps.
Yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, man, you really we've hit pretty much everything.
I try to.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
it was really, really good. Also this is great timing because my laptop is on 9%.
9%, perfect. Yeah,
Yeah, I just got a little pop-up telling me.
I got you. Yeah. Well,
Um,
I appreciate your time and I did, sorry about last night. My family came over, my sister, my parents.
yeah,
So,
it's no
like,
worries.
yeah, but I didn't like doing that because I respect your time and my time. I was like, I'm so sorry, Liam, but I didn't have a choice. So, but I appreciate
Yeah.
you. Yeah,
Yeah,
understand.
I really appreciate you as well.
Yeah, yeah. But other than that, man, just shoot me a message. And how many more people do you have to interview?
I was actually just gonna interview you and then just do a bunch of research on everything like the statistics of how many food trucks succeed, how many restaurants fail, all
Yeah,
that
oh,
good
there's a
stuff.
lot. Oh my goodness, brother. So many food trucks are closing their businesses.
Mm,
There's more closing than opening
yeah,
because it's a hard hustle. People think that when they start product, that immediately it'll be like there's gonna be long lines. Sometimes they do get lucky. I'm not one of those people. I didn't get lucky. This business is pure blood and sweat. Like
mm,
my clientele, your blood and sweat. But there's a lot that's closing, a lot are failing. People would say if you love what you do, it's like you don't ever work a single day in your life.
yeah,
That's not always true. Because sometimes when you love what you do, it's still work, you know. For me, I'll end with this. I don't really love what I do.
mm,
It's not what I want to do. But I've learned to love it because it helps other people. When I see people smiling, happy, and when I'm helping people, giving good food, opportunity to work, a job, everything, that makes my heart feel good, you know.
yeah,
But if there's really something I want to do, I just want to be at home and be with my family. And I'm doing videos. I used to want to be a movie director. I
mm,
used to want to be, do art. I know Izzy's an artist. That's what how she described herself. She likes art. I love art too. I like to paint. I like to draw. I draw mainly like anime and stuff like that. I used to think I would be a comic book artist, but never happened. But that's what I like to do. But it's not where I am right now.
mm,
But it's okay because um, if my hobby is enough to pay for my bills, then I'm all for it. But for now, it's not just about me.
yeah,
I'm more. It's about my family. If I can see my wife under a good roof and my children, I've got two kids now. Technically, one still about to be born in June.
yeah,
My goal is to provide for them, to be a good dad, a good husband. That's really my ultimate goal. I don't care about anything else. I don't care about the business secondary. For me, number one is my faith, because that's what gives me the courage to do what I do, and it's just what defines me.
mm,
That's everything to me. If I don't have my faith, I don't even want to be in this world. But
yeah,
that's what pushes me to be the best version of me, because I'm a failure by myself. But my faith in God is what makes me move forward and be try to be good or be a blessing, you know. And then after that, taking care of my household, business is honestly last. For
yeah,
me, if business was number one for me, then I've already failed. My ultimate success is to be a blessing to myself, to my family. That's why, I could be working nonstop and not hiring people, and just being working nonstop. No, I don't need to hire you because I'll take all the money and stuff. No, it's not worth it. For me, you know what? Let's give other people an opportunity to build themselves up. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about making money. It's about helping others and building a good community, for others as well. And so that's where I want to be, and that's where.
nice.
All right, Leah. I appreciate you too, bro. Thanks for this opportunity, and
Yeah, of
uh,
course.
shoot me a message if you have any questions. I'm gonna send you the recording once it's ready.
Gotcha. Did you want to read the final product when I'm finished with the story that I'm writing?
Oh yeah, I would love to. Yeah, of
Sure.
course.
Go
Yeah,
ahead. I'll
yeah.
send you a link for it.
I'll support your journalism and stuff.
Thank you, man. I
Yes,
appreciate it.
sir. Yes, sir. All right. I will talk to you later. I appreciate you.
Catch you
Bye.
later. Bye.
Let's stop the recording.